And we're back
We're live. We're back.
on paint buckets.
Feels like the good old days.
Yeah. It's a little bit of chaos going on right now. And
So we're in the yarn building, huh?
Yeah, we have it for another couple of months. So I've got a bunch of videos, bunch of detailing videos to shoot in here, and then we'll move everything out. It'll be our next big project to move everything out of here. I'll probably, some of the stuff I'm going to sell, some of the stuff I'm going to keep. Like the lift I'll sell, the flooring I'm going to keep and put in Michelle's new house. The speakers I'll probably sell. The cabinets I think I'm going to keep. I'm going to put in Michelle's new house.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet. Hose reels, Prevost piping, I'll probably sell all that stuff. Lev rack, we may repurpose the lev rack. Not sure. I need to be at home for a little while to, kind of start thinking about all this stuff. Figure out what my plan of attack is. Krenzla, KWS will be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
The, stainless shelving.
How about the tire equipment over there?
No, that's going in the new garage. So that'll stay. Yeah, lighting will come out of here. That's an easy swap. So I might, I'll probably reuse most of the lighting, sell some of it. I'm not sure yet. Now, great. Now I'm going to get 50 emails. Everybody wanting all this stuff for fire deal. Yeah.
Email Matt at obsessedgarage.com. M-A-T-T.
So anyway, we're back. We just got back from, I got back from California, and then I said I'm never traveling again. And 3 days later, we were on the plane in Toronto. You're supposed to drop. I can't do it. Drop the T, the second T. So we're going to be Toronto residents.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. It was a fun trip. Very quick trip.
Yeah.
We could get you ranting on something, I'm sure.
Gosh. Freaking Air Canada. It's for the birds.
All right, let me get you a couple quick questions here.
Okay.
Because several people have asked about this. From Flex BMW did as well. Hey, Matt and Chris, when will Touchless be available for pre-order?
I don't know. Do you know?
No, I don't know.
The Signature Edition, I think, is being air freighted over. The other container, I think, should ship here shortly.
So tell the Signature Edition is what?
So we're gonna do. I think it's 100 touchless, 100 Atomac, 100 traceless, I believe. Don't hold me to that. And Pete and I are gonna sign and number. So I'm bringing 144 of each. The other 44 are going to go out to our affiliate people, our affiliates, and so they'll be so they can make videos and share it. And so we'll put that up on the site at some point here in the not too distant future. We'll let you know on Instagram and on YouTube, and then from there, regular orders, pre-order. Once we get shipment confirmation, it takes about 6 weeks for a container to get here. We'll probably put a pre-order up and allow people to start ordering. Pricing is going to be awesome. I mean, that was something. I think we're up we're going to be 4 or 6% more than getting it in the UK where it originates. So it's not going to be that bad. Pete was adamant about keeping the pricing, making it economical and affordable, and I agreed. And we just have some, import duties, taxes, fees, shipping costs that he doesn't have there in the UK that we'll have here, and so we need to pass that cost off in order to get because he doesn't have high markups, he doesn't have a lot of margin, so the product's going to be, I want to say, I forget what the number was for touchless. So touchless is 8 times more concentrated or 8 times more effective than it was before. And I think the pricing was originally in the UK something like the equivalent of $35. I think it's gonna be $45 or something like that for a 4 or 5 liter, 5 liter. So it's gonna be super efficient, and so a 5 liter for $45 is gonna last a long freaking time, for most people, because you're gonna use, depending on your pressure washer setup, you're gonna use say 100 milliliters to get a 1% PIR in your foam cannon, and you'll be able to do several cars of the foam cannon load worth of water and solution. So it's going to be pretty cheap to operate with. So we'll have Atomac, touchless, and traceless first. is the plan.
Our buddy Dan Pfeiffer says, good afternoon from sunny Minnesota. Happy Friday, OG crew. Thanks again for your hospitality and tour of the new OG HQ a few weeks ago. Looking forward to next year's visit.
We learned about a new budget airline last night from coming out of St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Sun Country?
Yeah,
I think that's
Sun Crappy.
Yeah.
I won't be frequenting that airline anytime soon.
You did not fly on it, but we learned it. We learned about it last night.
We were standing for a freaking hour waiting for my one bag to come out of Air Canada.
Oh man, yep.
Yeah, Rouge. Apparently there's Air Canada, then there's Air Canada Rouge, which looks like Rogue. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool logo. Now I know it's French, it's stupid. Yeah, junk.
Let's see. Mike wants to know, hey Matt, will the lawn care nut be dialing in the new OG HQ lawn?
I got to reach out to him, see if he'd be interested, but I would like that, yeah. Trevor's been chipping away at just kind of getting it up to a minimum standard, and then from there we'll start working on it.
AFH says, hey Matt, at what point in your career did you switch from how much money will this cost me to how much time will this save me? Is everything about buying your time back now?
No, I don't really think about time at all. I'm thinking about quality generally, and I think I've always had that. Even when I didn't have it, I would just wait on things. I just wouldn't get it, or I would make a sacrifice to get it. Like getting a better MacBook Pro, or a better, like I didn't get a pressure washer. I didn't go out and buy one from Home Depot. I waited until I could get the Krensla. So I just figured out a way to use a hose, and then Krensla was my first pressure washer ever. And so most of the time, it's not about time. It's just about, because I can make time for anything. If you value it, you can make time. I think it's more of an equation of the timing, like, do I have the money to do it? And oftentimes I wouldn't have the money to do it and just do it anyway, and then figure out how to make some sacrifices elsewhere in order to make it happen.
I got an email question that Parker Cole sent me a couple weeks ago here, actually. He said, hey Matt, all of my household tools are Milwaukee.
Okay.
I want to go all in and standardize on Milwaukee, mainly due to interchangeability of the batteries.
Okay.
I have an Ego 580.
Yep.
Have you guys tested either of the Milwaukee leaf blowers? Do you have a recommendation on single versus dual battery? Use case is car drying, blowing leaves, and grass clippings is about 45 minutes.
Yeah, the single is not very good. The dual is arguably better in some ways. I have one up there somewhere. I have one somewhere around here. The dual battery is great, so I'd highly recommend it. If you wanted to stay in that ecosystem, I think the Ego is a little bit better. Just how it operates, just like how it functions. I feel like the batteries do last a little longer because you could put two HD12s on your Milwaukee, but I think that you'd be pleasantly surprised. It's actually really balanced. It's not as ergonomic when you put those little stubby on it. The 3D printing guy has a stubby for it, which works pretty well. But my money's on the Ego 580, which is now discontinued. But if you want to stay in that ecosystem, then the dual battery is pretty nice. I don't think you'd be disappointed.
He says he does already have the 580. Should I just quit while I'm ahead? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying the Milwaukee dual.
Yeah, I mean the 580 I think is just the best for drying a car. A lot of it I can't really put my finger on. The stats are fine, but it just has a different operating frequency. It just works well.
No one in the chat says OG microfiber roll versus the rag company ribbon rags. Why the repackage / what's the value add there?
There isn't. It's just cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it's the same towels. I think our color's a little bit different. We just wanted to have our own version of it, so ours looks way cooler.
Philippe, our buddy in Canada, says, I am so happy to hear about OG Canada. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here, Philippe. Ben Finner says, I know you've been busy. Any new consideration given to the Fireball tool bench vise since it was last discussed?
None. Zero.
Yeah, it's at the end of the long short list.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
How long out do you think it will be until we have the 20 amp vacuum available for purchase or pre-order?
I don't know. I've got one sitting over at the new HQ that I need to play with. I'd say probably later this year.
Steven says, can you guys tell me the current go-to polishing pads and two-step correction polishes?
My favorite would be Rupes yellow or white microfiber, or both. And then my favorite would probably be Griot's, Boss fast correcting cream with those pads. And then I would follow with Sonex Perfect Finish and a Rupes yellow. It's like a good, have a hard time messing that up.
Bradley Odette says, hey, Matt and Chris, just got a new motorcycle.
Okay.
Wasn't planning to ceramic coat it right away.
Okay.
Is only OG Drying Aid good protection for light riding until I can coat it?
Yeah, I mean, if I were you, I'd probably buy a bottle of something else. Buy like a bottle of Reload, or buy a bottle of C2V3 from G-Technic. So I'd probably want something, a drying aid on its own. I guess a motorcycle, especially if you're not riding in the rain and stuff, is really not going to get as dirty as a car. So if you're out riding on nice days and just taking care of it. But if it's going to be a while, I would want something a little bit more durable than just drying aid. Drying aid will work, but I think that you'll get a better protection from something like Carper Reload.
86 says, good morning from Sydney, Australia.
Nice. Our Australia, I'm making some headway in Australian distribution as well with my partners there.
Christopher Dede says, after washing the car, what product should I use to get gunk off the car so I don't attack the paint? I tried eraser, but not sure if that's the right application.
Yeah, I think you'd want Tar-X instead. Carpro Tar-X. You spray it on the towel or directly on the paint. So if you have something sticky or tree sap or something like that, Tar-X is what I would use.
Good morning, Matt and Chris from T-Daz250. What is your preferred interior temp/lumen for can lighting?
For the house, depending on your, the sort of the color of your stuff. So if you have a more modern looking house with grays and whites and stuff like that, then you would want, I think, a 3500 Kelvin color temp. If you have more of a brown, like the Helen house has a lot of cherry and a lot of pine and stuff like that, hardwood floors, then I would want 3K. So 3K or 3500 is generally my choice. If you go to 4K, it just gets a little bit too white for like comfort. Like this is 5K in here, which is great for a garage. But like in all of our offices, we do 4K. And so in an office environment, 4K. In a garage environment, it's 5K. In the home, I want 3 or 3500.
CK Mac has a couple random housekeeping questions for you, or
Okay.
house type questions.
All right.
Number 1, do you put your dirty dishes next to the sink or in the sink?
In the sink. Or I wash them, but Michelle puts them in the sink, and the kids put them in the sink, and I have to go wash them. Yeah. But yeah, I wash them, but they would go in the sink.
Second question, do you brush your teeth with cold water or warm water?
Well, that's a good question. What I do, especially in the morning when I wake up, is I'll turn the cold water on. I don't have a recirc line in my stupid house, so it takes a while for the cold water to run through. And so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the warm water. I have a very structured system here. So as I'm brushing my teeth, if I was going to shave, I want warm water, right? And so I'll brush my teeth first, so that way by the time I'm done, I don't want to waste.
Right.
So by the time I'm brushing my teeth, then the water will be, warmish. Or if I'm not shaving, because I'm white as a ghost, I only have to shave like once a week maybe. I would, in order to get my eyes like cleaned up for contacts, I want the warm water because putting cold water in your eyes is not fun.
True.
So I always do it that way. So I generally end up brushing my teeth with cold water.
The rag company guys it looks like they're.
Can they chime in? And what's the difference between our towels? Is that what they're saying?
No,
Okay.
This is something a little more hidden, it seems like.
Okay, all right.
Matt, have you had a chance to look under the driver floor mat of the E36?
Uh-oh.
That's what
you do.
And then there's a smiley face. I don't.
Well, we can look right now.
All right.
This could be the last time they're ever invited to my house.
I'm not allowed to touch his car anymore.
Oh, jeez. Let me fix this. That's nonsense. Look at this.
What did they do? Oh. Was that on just like sticking on the carpet back there?
Yeah, stickers. Bet you Anthony has stickers all over his desk. Uh-oh, my butt feels wet. Is that paint?
It sounds like a personal problem.
No, I hope that's not paint.
Yeah, we're sitting on paint cans, actually.
Yeah.
Paint cans.
Why does it just feel... Uh-oh. That's not good.
All right, waiting. Kevin says he's waiting on the Active 2.3 review.
That's sitting right there.
I can see it from here. You haven't used it yet? No.
I mean, I can pretty much tell you're not going to want it. So I can tell I'm not going to want it without even touching it. But just because of the price point, I think it needs to be like $400. But
What is it, 600?
It's like $650 or something like that. Yeah. But the Active 2.0 is $380 or $350 or $380 or something like that. So it's in a spot that's kind of weird. It's not a serviceable pump. You can't change the oil. It's sealed. It's probably a 200-hour, 300-hour machine. I'm not sure what they rated it at. But you can just see the pump head. It's not ideal. But I think the performance is probably going to be pretty decent. But again, I think for a few bucks more. Now, the advantage of that, I think it does operate on a 15 amp circuit at 2.3 gallons a minute, whereas an AR is going to need 20 amps. But in that price point for $100 more, I think I'm buying I'm buying an AR.
Matt Major says, hey, I saw something a little while back about you testing/looking at liquid element polishers. Were they any good?
Yeah, super legit. We're actually going to be launching them here shortly. They're like $200. It's wild. I got one sitting around here somewhere. I think it's in my... Oh, yeah, did I bring it in yet? Yeah, the T4000. So we'll be launching them in our entry-level packages like June 1st, I think, maybe May 1st. And they're like $200 and something, $210 or something crazy like that. So we'll be doing the 1-inch and the 3-inch, and they're pretty wild. I just shot the video, the introduction video. I blew them off at first, and I'm just not looking for knockoff bull crap. But then I met the owners, and I made him vlog right that minute his place. Like, if you're legit, and there's total chaos. The dude has like 2 3D printers in like 15 different rooms. He's like a crazy mad scientist. All these prototypes everywhere, and he's just like a crazy detail dude. And so that's interesting to me. And so we're going to be helping them import it and distribute it here in the U.S. For me, I'm not buying it. I'm going to polish. I've got actually Drew's on his way here with the E30 Evo and an E30. So I'm going to have 2 E30s for a month or two that I'm going to get to experience and live with from Enthusiast Auto Group. So my friend Drew bought EAG from Evan. Eric passed away. And so EAG is where I got my E92, my E46. And so EAG out of Cincinnati, and Drew's here in Orlando, and we came up with this idea where he's going to give me a cool car to experience and to video and probably sell for him, and polish and correct and play with, and I buy it if I love it, kind of thing. He's bringing the cars by, so we're going to be playing and testing all kinds of stuff on them, and so I'll be using the new Rupes. I'll be doing. I don't really do reviews. I just tell you what I think. I guess that's what a review is, but to me, a review is bull crap. There's too much fluff. I want to just tell you like it is. Like, this is what I think about the darn thing, and I think a lot of people like me to do that because I'm the only one who will do it that way. Everybody else is giving you too much fluff because they're either getting paid or they're getting it for free or something like that. In my case, I guess I could be biased too because I'm choosing to sell things. But you just have to, to trust that I'm only selling what I'm interested in. And so with the LE stuff, I'm looking for something that like 20-year-old Matt would have bought, instead of getting a Porter cable or some other cheap, now in today's environment, getting some rip-off piece of crap. I want something that's decent. So these are German engineered. Of course, every polisher's taking cues from Rupes, but I think this one is different enough, and they put in their own work and they designed it sort of from the ground up, and so. That's the other reason why I think the Griots is acceptable and the Mac Shines and stuff like that are not, is they're not attempting to knock it off, they're attempting to do something better or different. And so the LE is doing something different. It's certainly not better, it's not going to be my go-to polisher, but for the money, it's what I would choose. Just like the shocking thing when I did the Karchers, and I've said this 100 times, the Karcher K1700 just shocked me. I'm like, this is wild. Like, I could use this right now. Now, I still prefer the Krenza, but we got 1.4 gallons a minute out of it. The thing's $150 at the time. Like, this thing's pretty sweet. And so, similar experience we're getting from the LE stuff. And most people, they're going to buy one of those and never need to change. They'll never change it. They'll never go to Rupes because it'll be sufficient for them.
Joseph says, happy Friday from Wisconsin. Here's another vote for Soft 99 Fuso or Fuso wax. I really think Matt should try it. I had it on my Acura TLS for a year, and it gave an equally good washing experience to coatings.
Yeah, I'm very well aware. I've had it all here. I just never really was motivated to put it on the car. I've never actually put it on a car. I bought it in the past, and then they sent it all to me. And wax is just kind of, if I was going to wax, I would use Swiss Wax, Swiss Wax Concorso or something like that, or Culinite. I think that lots of people have argued Soft 99 over Culinite A45, but I think we're kind of done with that.
Ben Finner says, how do I know when it is time to switch home designers? Our current person might not be a great fit. Maybe we wanted a drafter and not a designer.
So if he's talking about like design from the the decoration type design rather than an architect, right? So if he could clarify that, because those are two totally different things. The architect, you never want your architect to be your frickin' interior design person. You need to. That would be very unique to find someone who does both. And does both well. So maybe he can clarify what he's talking about here. Is he talking about his architect?
Bring Your Wood Screw says, expecting my OG microfiber towel roll to arrive today. Love this idea.
It's cool. And I figured, because I asked that same question. I'm like, well, the rag company already has it. There's a bunch of companies already have it. But I want my own. And on my own, we made a paper towel holder that'll be coming out here soon, like a, to put on the wall. It's going to be like $200, something crazy, $300. But I wanted my own box and in my garage, and so and I knew that if I wanted it, then some other people would too. So have we sold any of them? I guess we sold some.
We sold about 100-ish so far, I think, as of this morning.
Cool.
Khalid, hey Matt, what do you think of using CarPro Pearl as a tire dressing? Dilution of 1-to-1 or use as is?
Yeah, I always used it straight up, but OG, I'm telling you, OG tire dressing is like 50% better. And I actually just got Jescar Rim and Tire Protectant or something like that, or dressing. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to be trying that out. But I have Pearl. We have Pearl in our in our store. Pearl's great, but OG tire dressing is much better.
Alabama Man says, hey Matt, how do you like the Armor Detail Supply product that I see in the background?
That's the Decon soap. I haven't used it yet. So I got Decon soap. I got some other stuff from him coming in to play with. I've got his glass coating, and then he has another glass coating that's top secret. I guess I'm blowing up his spot right now on. Yeah, I've got a bunch of new stuff that I'll be playing with on the E30s. I'm going to do the E36 as well, the Raptor. So a bunch of detailing stuff coming up over the next couple months.
Tristan wants to know, did you tune in for TRCMA? Anything that piqued your interest?
I was in and out a little bit here and there, but no. I mean, most of the stuff that they're launching, I already have. You know, most of the companies would have sent it to me. No, nothing that jumped out.
Couple quick touchless questions here. Aaron wants to know the version that we're getting, is that the new concentrated version?
Correct. Yeah. So Pete is adamant. He doesn't do different versions, or he doesn't do old and new or have advanced, and he just has one, which I like. One best. When a new formulation comes out, the old one goes away. So yeah, it'll be all the newest, latest version. The higher, I guess I don't know that it's concentrated. It's different. It's reformulated.
And then, are we getting it in 1 liter, 5 liter, both?
We'll be getting it in 1 liter and 5 liters. I don't think we're going to bring over the big, 25 liters. I don't even know if he makes those. I don't think it's really necessary with this heavier concentrate.
Ben did not get back to us yet about the designer question, but he also says, I'm planning a lift in the garage.
Okay.
Maybe not right away. Any plans or ideas for dense foam blocks to take up the space in the concrete flooring while I wait?
I mean, I would probably just build up plywood and 2x4 type thing, build a little ramp or a little, cover. I think that's what we did here. So you would do it, dense with 2x4s or 2x6s or whatever you needed to, but rip 2x6s and get some 3/4 or 1 inch ply and just build yourself some covers.
G. Allen says, hey Matt, we're about the same age.
Okay.
Were you ever a Zymol guy?
I had a bottle of Zymol, and I always was intrigued by, what was the other one? Zano, the Zano system, which I never bought. I thought it was too much money. But my buddy Charles always had a thing of Zymol. I was using something else. It wasn't New Finish. New Finish is the orange one. I forget what I used to use, but it was something like that. It was something like Zymol, but it wasn't Zymol.
He said he found an unopened kit in my garage from 20 years ago recently.
That makes me a little nervous about what's
What else
in
is
your
there?
garage. Yeah. I know what is in every single drawer of my entire house off memory right now, other than maybe Kate and Ryan's stuff or Michelle's. So
Nothing from 20 years ago?
No,
No Arby's napkins?
100% not. Yeah. What about you? Do you know what is in every drawer?
I do, actually. Yeah. Some of it is close to 20 years old. But
Oh my gosh. If I went to your house, what percentage of stuff would I throw away, do you think?
97. 97.
And you'd have such a better life. You'd be dialed in. You'd know where everything was. You knew what you had.
Maybe we'll do that one day. You come to my house and just throw everything away and we start over.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, man. 97 is probably, that's...
How many napkins from restaurants do you think you have? Is it 6,000?
In my house? No. Probably 20.
Only
They're
20?
in a specific drawer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A in there. In my car, I have some. Anytime I go to a nice restaurant, Ruth's Chris has those thick napkins in the bathroom sometimes. Okay. I get a big handful of those and take those. Those are good. Can't pass those up.
What are you napkinning? What are you wiping?
Those usually go in the car for Harper spills.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other stuff I go home. We put those in the drawer and break those out for the fine dinners.
This is just wild.
Oh man, that would make for some good content seeing you go through my house.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Dan Pfeiffer clarifies for us here. Sun Country is a local airline, not great, but still cheaper than Delta. Yes. All right, a couple quick things here, then we'll get to Canada. Harley 17 says Mike F mentioned at the Fred garage that the black pressure washer OG hose, but I can't find it on the website. Is it coming soon?
Yeah, I don't know. We have a roll, so you can just email support and they can make you one. It's not as nice as the blue. It's the same hose, it's just the jacket just doesn't look as nice as the blue does. But we have probably 200 feet, so we can make you one if you want. Just hit up Manny, the support at obsessedgarage.com, and they can dial it in for you.
All right, here's Ben's clarification for us. It's about the architect we're using. Our preferred home builder recommended them,
Yep.
and we're on draft 6, but he's moving 3 steps forward, ignoring 2 steps, and moving 1 step backward.
Yeah, that's tough. I think my experience with architects, even really good ones, is that you have to really spell out exactly what you need. And if you can't do that, then you need to find somebody who's really good, who just hears you. You know, if you're generally going to do, probably a dozen iterations to get it where you want, especially if it's a big house or sophisticated house. But you're really looking for somebody who, it's tricky because you want some input, but you want the input around what you're telling them. Like I know I want an entryway that has, a really steep roof pitch, but I'm not sure how to incorporate that into how the look of the house. And so I've always been one that I need somebody that can draw it. I can explain it like 50%, and they can draw it, and then I can adjust. But it sounds like the guy's not hearing you. Like he's probably not very good at that. Depending on how much you're into this, you might need to bag it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Like you're going to be there you're going to be there a while. You want it to be right.
Yeah, but that is part of the process, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's kind of but what you want is somebody that can either draw it in real time, and this is probably what he's struggling with, is they're probably not able to draw it in real time. And so, like the architect I was working with to build the house that I didn't end up building, we would sit there and he would actually draw it, like physically draw it, and say, "Is this what you're talking about?" I said, "No, it's something different." And he would draw it, and then he would overlay, and he'd have all these scribbles and stuff all over the place. And so we would at least get it relatively correct, so then he could go and add it. And I would tell him, don't take any liberties from here. Like don't move this hallway, don't move the bathroom. I want the bathroom this way for a specific reason. So I found that you really have to spell it out. But if you can't, the frustrating thing with some of them is like, because they don't know how to use Revit or they don't know how to draw, on paper, and so you got to tell them. You have a big long meeting and you tell them what you want, and you think they're hearing you, but you don't know because they're not drawing anything for you, and then you come back 2 weeks later, which of course you're paying them for every hour that you're meeting with them, and it's totally wrong. So I would request, if you're going to stay with the same guy, can we just go sit at your computer and do this together? And if he says no, then that'll make up your decision.
He adds here, I've had my best luck taking the current draft, photoshopping the exact changes I want, and then he killed it. So I'll keep trying that. I can draw it, no problem.
Yeah, you just have to take it on yourself to draw, but you need their input on the structure, like okay, I know what I want, but can we actually build this, I don't know the engineering side of it. Do I need a beam here in the middle of this, or, how can we actually do this? And I'm guessing he's probably like me, has a rough idea, what's possible. And so, I think that you need to show up prepared, and it kind of stinks, but know that most of the time, most people don't have a clue, and so they just take whatever they get. And so if you want what you want, sometimes you've got to put in a little extra effort.
Got my buddy, evidently, not your buddy. Brad Hone says, if Matt came to my house, he'd throw a match at it and say we have to start all over. I like that, Brad. That's good. Super chat here, Francisco Nunez, $4.99 US. On the Ambio Max.
Okay.
Is the new one on the horizon, or should I pull the trigger now?
I don't think so. I don't have a lot of inside info with Sennheiser. They usually give me, maybe a couple of months of heads up. I think that the current Max is current, and I don't know of anything about to replace it. It's down $500. Everybody's selling it for 2 Gs. So I think I'd pull the trigger on it. I mean, and then just close your eyes. Something new comes out right away. But it's so good that you won't be disappointed.
A couple people were marking about your hair, how you have more hair.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I just literally haven't had time to cut it. Or haven't made the time to cut it. And so I'm going to cut it at some point this weekend for sure.
A couple Canada questions or Canada comments here.
Okay.
Mesa says, good afternoon from Calgary, Alberta. Shame you're not coming here, but it certainly makes sense. And then Mike Monkhouse says, just drove by Tool Grid. Can't wait to see OG in there.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, so we went up there Wednesday and Thursday and met with our friends at Tool Grid. As soon as we walked in their warehouse, it's like, oh yeah, this is a done deal now. It was nice. Matt I think you enjoyed it a lot.
So I was at a crossroads, and I think I've explained this a couple of times on either Wash and Talk or maybe in a podcast, but I'll explain it again. And so for in case people haven't been following along as closely. So my original thought, and what I've thought from the beginning, and part of the reason it's taken me so long, is that I thought, okay, I'm going to have to buy inventory. I'm going to have to rent or buy a warehouse. I'm going to have to build a corporation in Canada, so then I'm going to have to deal with all the, the legal side of the tax and legal and all that, which I've already done actually. I have inked the deal on the business on getting that done, but I have the people to do it, and I have it all set up. I know what we were going to do. And then I was going to have to, set up a payroll system, and then hire people, and then I'd own it. But huge risk, right? Because now I've got to sign a 10-year lease, 5 years minimum. So I'm going to sign at least a 5-year lease, probably 10-year lease. So I'm committed. I'm going to have to get the place before we're selling anything. I'm going to have to hire the people before we're selling anything. They're going to have to come down. I'm going to have to pay for all kinds of travel costs for people to come down here and live here while we're training them. Then I'm going to have to send our people up there and to train some more and to get the stuff working. And then, shoot, what happens if I was stupid and I hired the wrong guy to manage the thing and it just doesn't work out? And then I'm going to be freaking out that I've got to get as many products there as quickly as possible. So I've got to spend a ton of money to get it there. And then we've got to be selling like $300,000 a month almost immediately in order to cover that nut, cover the cost. Because remember, when I started Obsessed Garage, I was doing it, and then my parents were doing it, and then the three of us were doing it, and then we hired slowly. We hired Ted part-time. I wouldn't have that option up there. I'd have to hire some people who can be trusted, and he's going to be 2,000 miles away. So the more I thought about it, and I thought about it in Australia, and Australia would be more difficult, because now it's, 6,000 miles away, 7,000 miles away. It's a 24-hour flight to get there. And so I started thinking, and through, Rick was very uncomfortable with this idea as well, my coach. And so I started thinking, and he said, he kind of helped me realize that I don't really like warehousing is not the thing. And we built a warehouse and got into warehousing because we had to, the distribution of product. But I don't want to just hire any old third-party logistics service because they're not going to pack it right. They're not going to ship it correctly. And that was the whole justification for why we needed to get our own warehouse. And so if I'm going to get my own warehouse, I'm not going to do it in Toronto because it sucks. Sorry, people who live there. It's just, it's big, heavy, dense business place, right? It's crazy how many businesses are headquartered there. It's wild. But, it's nice, but it's not, it's not Calgary, And so I was like, well, if I'm gonna buy my own warehouse and I'm gonna build a Destination OG property, I'm gonna do it all in one spot, then I might as well do it where I want to do it. And then I started thinking, well, we'll do it in Scotland or somewhere cool in the UK and somewhere cool in Austria or something like that. I can just pick wherever I want to go. And so that was the advantage of, if I'm going to do it myself, I might as well do it where I want to do it. Well, I came to the realization that there's just too much risk. Too much risk to do that. Too much upfront cost. I would have to launch as many products as quickly as possible, which would be more upfront costs. And then what happens if I don't sell anything? What happens if they don't really want it? I think that's low probability. So the other option was, so if I get a building, I got that expense. I hire employees, I've got that expense. I've got payroll and the legal and all the things of running a business there. I've got that expense. I've got to, then travel and training and all that stuff. I got that expense. I've got, and then the major inventory purchase. I've got that expense, the 10-year lease, all that stuff added up to, I'm going to net, probably less profit than I do here because I'm going to have extra people because I can't share and I can't have the tech support guys come help offload a truck or something like that because they'll all be here. So I have no sort of redundancy of labor, or I have no ability to share in tasks. So it was going to be, let's say I was going to make, 15% at the end of the day, or 12%, pre-tax at the end of the day. And so then I started thinking, well, what if I could put a deal together with some form of partnership where they already have the employees, they already have the warehouse, they already have the corporation set up. They could help share in the cost of inventory. And so why don't I just find somebody, and if I net all that out, I'm probably going to make 20% instead of 12% without all the, and then how much time is it going to take me to replicate all the things that they already have? And then all I have to do is pay for them to come down and train them, and then go up there and train them, and they'll be much quicker, especially if I get a partner who's good at shipping stuff, right? And then it would be great if I found somebody who was like-minded. And so I immediately thought of, Michelle from Tool Grid, they had come and visit a couple of years ago and said, hey man, if you ever need it, we got this new beautiful 50,000 square foot warehouse. We've got tons of space. We've got the right people. Someday, if you ever wanted to, do something in Canada, we'd love to help. And I kind of blew her off because I don't want a partner. I want to do it on my own. And so then I reached out to her, about 6 months ago and said, hey, what if? Maybe it was 3 months ago. I said, what if? Would you still be interested in doing this? She said, absolutely. And I said, so we need to come up there. And so we went up there, and it's a match made in heaven. They're more organized than we are by a long shot. So what's going to happen is, and there's still some things to work out from the website perspective. So in an ideal world, it would look like this. You're in Canada, you live anywhere in the country. It looks like this, where we're importing Mosmatic from Switzerland direct to Canada. We're importing Krenslet from Germany direct to Canada. We're importing CarPro direct from Korea to Canada. Or we're working with the main distributor that's in Canada, and a lot of products aren't. They're just not available. You guys know this, they're not as available. And so we're going to bring it in, and we'll either become the main distributor or we'll work with the main distributor there. And so we're going to bring the products to Tool Grid and house them and store them there. So we're going to build their inventory, the same exact inventory we have here at OG. And in an ideal world, you would go to obsessgarage.com. You'd be geo-fenced, as long as you weren't using a VPN. If you're using a VPN, you just click the flag, change to Canada. It converts the currency. Now some things, like Tool Grid, is going to be cheaper for Canadians. Swiss Tracks may be cheaper for Canadians. It's produced there. Right, so things that are produced in Canada, active, may be cheaper in Canada because that's where they're headquartered. So we may have some things, most things aren't going to be, but some things will be a little bit less. And so I have another problem to solve in that Shopify doesn't allow you in its current form to have unique pricing. Right now, I can very easily turn it on to where you go and it converts to Canadian dollars, but it's just a simple currency conversion. Well, I want to have two different prices. I want to have a Canadian price and a U.S. price. Some things are going to need to be a little bit more, maybe because Canada's trade agreement with Germany isn't as good as the trade agreement with the U.S., but it still makes sense to import it direct to Canada instead of bringing it to the U.S. and then sending it to Canada. So we're hopefully going to be able to eliminate some of the cost of taxes and tariffs and things like that. So you go to obsessgarage.com, it's geo-fenced, so it knows your IP and where you're at. It converts to Canadian dollars. You purchase it. The order, instead of getting routed here to HQ, it gets routed to HQ in Canada, which is Tool Grid. You're not going to know Tool Grid from anybody other than I told you who they were. It's going to have OG tape, and it's going to have an OG label, and it's going to be from Obsessed Garage, but it's coming from a Canadian facility. It'll be packed the same, it'll be taped the same, it'll be the same boxes, the same process. We're going to teach them the process, which they're eager to learn and very clearly capable. And so they may even teach us some things. And so then your box will arrive, either Canada Post or UPS in Canada for same thing it would have cost in the US. And then I have some issues I need to figure out. What I have to figure out is that we may need to have a separate obsessedgarage.ca. So you may need to redirect to a separate website, which is identical, a clone. There are some pros and cons to us creating a clone site, but in a perfect world, I have one site. But we may need to clone it and have a clone.au for Australia and UK for the EU or something like that for Europe. But the main thing I need to figure out is bank accounts, because right now on Shopify you can't have two different bank accounts, and I need a Canadian bank account and a US bank account. And so I don't want them doing the currency conversion, because then I'll get frickin' hosed in that. So anyway, it's going to be frickin' awesome. And so this is what I've been talking about for years. And so if you're in Quebec or you're in Ontario, you're in Calgary, you're in BC, we're going to be able to ship it across the country, either Canada Post or UPS, and get it to you in a much more timely fashion with no duties, no taxes, no import fees, none of that crap. Just like if you were buying from Carzilla, or you're buying from Canadian Tire, or you're buying from another Canadian company, Amazon.ca, we're going to be able to do the same thing in Canada with Obsessed Garage. And so I'm going to do it with a partner, and they're going to charge me a fee for that distribution. And after I net out all my expenses, I'm going to end up, I think, in a slightly better spot by having a partner. I just needed to find the right partner. And so we're looking at 3-4 months from now, having pressure washers. I've already booked the appointment with Krensla, booked the appointment with Mosmatic. We might have our pressure washing systems and packages. We're going to start with packages and then convert to a la carte as well. And so we may have stuff there in a couple of months.
So Canadians, get excited. You've been waiting for
Yeah.
us. You've been bothering us.
It's going to be awesome.
Now, we have a super chat, $5 US.
Okay.
Only reading this because it's a super chat. Smart. He says, I saw a photo of you, Alt Mantis Tool Grid. So he follows them on Instagram.
Oh yeah, go help my buddies out. They're at like 9,600 or something like that. I need to get them to 10,000.
9,615.
Yeah.
Here, I'll post the link.
Yeah, so go to Mantis Tool Grid. Go to Tool Grid and do me a favor and follow them. One, because they're going to be sharing our stuff in their facility at some point, right? And two, because we have the new OG Gray that's shown on their page, and I think that we're going to gain them a much bigger following over time, and we're going to be doing lots of products together as well on the Tool Grid side too. So that's another nice thing.
So yeah, he saw the picture of us. They posted on their Instagram. Here.
No, we're not there. We were in and out.
Right. So there's the picture.
Yeah.
There's us. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Right before we left. And then he claims, hold on here.
Uh-oh.
He says, I want to say that Chris's footwear was unacceptable.
Uh-oh,
How do we allow this?
What do you got? Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's my footwear. It's the same footwear I'm wearing today. He doesn't like my footwear. So I looked it up.
Yeah.
And here's the description. A high-character leather shoe that can handle a serious meeting or a spontaneous night out. So
You trust that? Serious meeting. That was a very serious meeting.
It was, and my shoes handled it with class. That's funny. You know what's really funny is I used to wear tennis shoes all the time, and I only switched to these because when I hurt my back again, I didn't want to bend over to tie them every morning. I still wear these.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Matt would throw out some of my shoes in my closet too.
You got some 20-year-old shoes in there?
No. Well, I have one pair of cowboy boots. It's 24 years old now.
Okay.
You might actually like those. Mm-hmm. This is extreme makeover home edition coming to my house.
So that's our Canada story.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. We're doing it. I'm getting it done. And it's
Yeah.
going to be freaking awesome.
It was super impressive to see what they've done up there. And I showed Janet, Matt's mom, some pictures this morning. She was very impressed with the warehouse. Alyssa said something about how clean the floor was in the warehouse. I'm like, yeah, they got it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let us walk in there with our shoes on. They probably were just biting their tongue.
They were too nice. They were very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, let's see. We got some other questions here. Now that you're back on your routine, Matt, do you use protein powder on your carnivore/supplementation plan?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I'll usually do a double up, so I'll take like a 48 gram, so a double scoop of Legion. Legion's my favorite. You should check it out. Yeah, it's the best tasting I found. It tastes a lot like Progenics. Yeah, I bought like 12 different kinds, and Legion, it comes in a big bag, easy to get, reasonably priced. They sell the 5-pound bags, which I buy. So every 2 months I have a 5-pound bag come in. They're really cool because they send you, hey, you sure you need this? And so I actually just got one and I didn't need it. And so, I put L-glutamine, a scoop of glutamine and protein, so I'll take that in the morning.
Chocolate flavored?
Yep, chocolate peanut butter.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty soluble, tastes good, seems to be reasonably decent, from a chemical makeup, but who knows what you're getting with that crap. Yeah, but I'm back on. I'm beat up, man. I'm not resting today. I'm going mountain biking at 5. But I didn't go to the gym this morning because we got back so late last night. I slept like a baby.
I slept well last night.
Yeah, I was so tired. But I when I got back from California, I worked out for the first few days in California and I hurt my back the first week. Second week I didn't work out and started eating frickin' cinnamon rolls and stuff. So I got to 224. I'm 221 this morning. And so I'm back on it, back to my chase to 200. And so, on the trip, I fasted most of it and only ate meat. Last night I went home, ate some shrimp and some whatever pre-cooked cocktail shrimp and some cold cuts when I got home.
Midnight.
Freaking starving. And then this morning I had some eggs, and then I'll fast through my ride and have a steak tonight.
Yeah, you'll all be proud to know. So when we sat at our gate yesterday at the airport, it was directly across from a little gift shop that has all the treats and Canadian maple everything.
And what did you buy?
I got a Kit Kat.
No,
and
what
some
else did you
ketchup
buy?
chips.
Did you eat them?
I tried one this morning. I gave them to Ed because I told Ed about them.
Okay.
So I tried one, he tried one. I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
It's gross.
Yeah, it tastes like ketchup.
Ugh.
So ketchup chips, not for us. But he sat down across from me and he said, why do we have to sit here across from all the treats and snacks and such? But then when you walked in, I was watching you the whole time in case you tried to sneak something before you came out.
I was looking for some almonds or something. Maybe if I was going to cheat, I was going to do like some the wasabi and soy sauce almonds, but they didn't have any of those. All they had were sugar-coated cashews and crap. So I just got some terrible
some
beef jerky.
Yeah. You were good. I was watching.
Yeah, it's like $20 for like a little pouch.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that was Canadian dollars.
Yeah,
though.
so you had a little discount anyway.
That's true. I forgot about that. It was $11.40. I'm like, man, that seems like a lot. But yeah, what is the currency conversion right now? Is it still like 34%?
Deagle 456. Good afternoon, happy Friday, gents. Obsessed Garage. Is the Fred's Garage final tour launching tonight?
I don't know.
I think so. I'm in the middle of it right now. But I don't know. Let's see. All right, do that. So yeah, if you're not already, go follow Mantis Tool Grid. You can check out my shoes and chime in with your thoughts.
Yeah, let's help get them to 10,000. I need at least a couple hundred of you. Go follow them right now if you're not.
And smart for his $5 super chat. I'll put that towards my new shoe fund. Thanks.
Okay.
Matt D says, I tried ADS Amplify.
Okay, yeah.
Compared to OG Drying Aid, I found it to be less slick, but marginally glossier. Application was about the same. Curious whether slickness or glossiness is more important to Matt.
I like slick and wax-like. So I'll have to try it. I haven't ordered that. I just find it hard to believe, that slipstream is hard. Yeah, what is that?
0.74 US dollars. So, yeah,
It's only 25%. Yeah, that sucks. It was like 0.65 or 0.66 or something at one point. I bought some Canadian dollars there, and they hose you. You know what I'm talking about? It was like $1.15. So I got $40, and they gave me like 42, or something like, which is nonsense. It should have been what? It should have been like $60. Yeah, right. 25% more. So.
Thank you, American.
Yeah, it should have been 50.
Question from Matt. Have you ever considered doing seasonal collections, especially for winter steps, salt removal, etc.?
No. You'll see when the master collection comes out, it would be more of here's the whole package. And then I think that you guys will have some unique stuff, but most of it just carries over. It doesn't matter if it's snowing, raining, sunny, salty, sandy. It should be the same process.
And Waba chimed in here, or maybe it was Tim in the chat, says Fred's tour goes live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's
You gonna watch women's Final Four tonight, Chris?
Yeah,
You've been getting.
I did watch the one game last week, the Iowa LSU game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it till the very end, and they drug it out like every basketball game.
Yeah.
But the whole rest of the game was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I dig it.
Well, the one tonight starts at 9, Iowa and UConn. Ooh, that's late for old people like me.
That's good because I'm gonna be riding my mountain bike till like 8 o'clock. So.
You coming to Santos?
Yeah. You want to go?
You invited me once,
I got an extra bike.
and I said I haven't ridden a bike in 8 years. And you said, all right, you're no longer invited.
And that's true. Yeah. But we got some people that are pretty slow. So I'm gonna basically be riding by myself. I don't know why I have everybody going because I'm just gonna leave everybody.
That's why I hear you just leave them anyway. Yeah, I'll come one time. I can't come tonight. I'll come one time. Mike Kaufman, AR630.
Yeah.
Is there any difference using a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch 50-foot hose?
No. I've never found any measurable difference between as long as it's under like 200 feet. You're not getting any difference between a 3/8 hose or a 1/4, internal diameter. So I've never measured any difference.
Deepak has a question for me. Are Cox wheels on track for shipping next week? They shipped Wednesday, 2 days ago.
Okay.
They are slated to arrive next Wednesday, April the 10th.
Is it enough to fulfill all of our orders?
Yes.
Okay.
We have 13 pallets scheduled to arrive on Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's going to be a big day next Wednesday. So yes, Deepak, thanks for asking that as well. Let's see. Beyond the new OGHQ, Dom wants to know, do you think you'll be investing in more commercial real estate in the future?
No. Only when I'm occupying. I have no interest in being a landlord. I'm an occupy my real estate type of person. So I'm planning on having more, but only stuff that I'm occupying.
Obsessed Mobile Detailing says, I saw that the Detail Factory announced the new tire dressing brush that they partner with you guys on.
Yeah.
Can you give us more details on that?
I don't know anything about it. So I had nothing to do with it. So.
Yeah, it was mostly Tommy and Bryce.
Yeah, what does it even look like? I have no idea. I didn't see that video. So.
You got to go home and watch tonight.
There's a good chance I'm going to frickin' punt it. We'll see. I got to go check it out. Check out my own brush that I have nothing to do with.
All right, here's a good question from me from Yao Antonio Rabello. Hi, Matt. I finally got time and money to buy the proper detailing products.
Okay.
What would be a must to buy if you had a small storage and apartment building with an outdoor washing parking spot in Canada?
We're solving that right now with our, so you need like the basic stuff. So we have a basic package for everything. I think you'll want some version of our bucket system. So I've created a basic version of the buckets. And so you want to build a base of the essential stuff. You need GSF. I think you want some Incredi pads or Incredi mitts. So I think the best thing to do would be to start digging into the detailing section of our site, and you want to it really comes down to how much money you got. You want it all, but I'd avoid the polishing and the decon and just focus on wheels and car washing. Look at the packages and then decide on those packages what you think might work best.
Let's see. Are you going to try the new Soft 99 Glaco range for your glass sealant? I've just applied their Ultra Glaco on Pan's recommendation. Their glass compound appears to work well and comes off easily.
Yeah, my gut tells me it's not it. But I've got 10 other different glass things to put on, and if I don't like those, then maybe I'll try that. I had a thing of it. I don't know what I did when I threw it away. It's like, nah, this is not going to work.
Life is Lucci says, good afternoon, guys. What is the recommendation prior to polishing a brand new car? OG Decon soap and anything else? And what should be used after polishing prior to coating the paint?
So, I mean, you definitely want to iron remove as well, because in transit, oftentimes they get a bunch of iron on them. So you want to, first you want to decon wash it, then you want to iron exit or iron remove it, and then you want to use like the rag company's clay sponge on it with a clay lube, and then polish it. And then you would wipe it down with eraser or some sort of surface prep like G-Technic's version panel wipe, and then you would coat. So you always want to wipe down with isopropyl alcohol solution. Eraser is the easiest, simplest. Panel wipe is a little bit more harsh, but you'd spray it directly on the towel. I always just spray it down with eraser and wipe it off.
Eraser smells really good too. That helps. Any recommendation for an OG spec drying rack for plates/utensils?
I get the one. Shoot, it was a Bed Bath & Beyond one.
Ooh.
It's a microfiber. It's not from Bed Bath & Beyond, so you can get it. It's shoot. If you Google search microfiber drying rack, maybe you can find it here on Amazon. It's that one, Umbra U Dry. That's the one I always use.
Williams-Sonoma.
Yep. Yep. Umbra. UMBRA U Dry is what I always use. It holds plates well. It's good.
Another Bill Tamer question. Do you plan on getting their blue microfiber towel or the 5-liter spigot? Just chemicals or accessories too?
So the way it's going to work is we're going to stock all Built Hamber. And we're going to put stuff in the OG store from Built Hamber. And then I'm going to find a few retailers that are willing to stock all of Built Hamber. And then you'll also be able to buy from BuiltHammer.com. So you're going to be able to buy from BuiltHammer.com. His website is going to quote you the same shipping that we have, and so you'll be able to buy the stuff direct from Built Hammer's site, which we'll fulfill for them, and then we get a small agency fee, if you will. You'll be able to buy from OG.com, the products that we like the most, and then you're going to be able to buy, depending on what retailers I bring in, or detailed images interested, or I'm looking for solid contributors. I'm going to call Jason at Car Supplies Warehouse, see if he's interested in selling it. Rag company, find some retailers that are interested in retailing it, and then we're giving them a great margin, much better margin than what we were going to get from Built Hammer. So I talked Pete into giving us enough room where we could do the work that's necessary to wholesale it, but then also bring on some other great retailers as well. And so the key is that the retailers aren't going to be allowed to discount. It's going to have to be the same price everywhere, and so that's the goal. And it's going to be price protected, so it's going to be removed, just like Rupes, even from our own Black Friday sale.
Let's see. Hey, Matt, have you ever heard of Boxo USA garage cabinets toolboxes? And if you have, how do you think they compare to Sabre or Sonic?
Saber's better. Sonic's way better. It's in the Sabre range. They were pretty nice. It's not a bad cabinet. I preferred the Pro Slat over Boxo. I talked to both of them. We're going to be carrying a Pro Slat, likely. And so we're doing Mike Waba's garage in the next couple of weeks with Pro Slat cabinets, and so we're partnering with them. Pro Slat has much better glides. They have Austrian glides in their cabinets, and they're in that mid-tier price point. So I think that if I were you, I'd highly consider Pro Slat. But Boxo's not terrible. They've been advertising a lot lately. I've seen them a bunch in my feed.
Brandon Smith is getting into mountain biking. The stock seat on my Trek hurts my bum after a couple hours. Any recommendations?
Well, shoot, a couple hours, any seat is going to hurt. But I like the Specialized Phenom seat in the extra large, the larger version. You have to just start buying saddles. Saddles hurt. And shoot, if you made it 2 hours and you just started riding, you're doing great. My freaking butt hurts in the first 10 minutes. But the seat that fits me the best is the Specialized Phenom. I've literally bought 100 seats to find that one, but it may not work for you. Just know you don't want padding is the opposite. It's opposite. The more padding doesn't make it better; it just makes it rub more. So the padding isn't the key. You get the padding in the shorts, in your liner, in your shorts. The padding is not what you want. So the Phenom has zero padding, maybe a tiny little bit.
All right, our buddy Chris from Service Plumbing Incorporated wants to know, are any of the old buildings available for lease?
This one is.
Yeah, did he sell?
I think the other one sold. Yeah.
So yeah, we can put you in
the
touch,
realtor
Chris.
just came. Yeah, just came to look at it. They're going to put it up for sale or lease. So she'd be willing to do either.
Cameron wants to know what happened to the FIAC air compressors.
Well, FIAC was purchased, and so they kind of did away with a lot of the FIAC line, like especially like the rotary screw compressor that we had. And so FIAC still exists. They're still making some of the bigger stuff. But Werther is the importer. They're out of Houston. They're the importer of the FIAC line. And so Werther has gone to several different companies, and they've been in the compressed air business for like 50 years. And so Werther has FIAC and other company components that they're aggregating together to make like the Compact X under the Werther brand. It's kind of like Jeskar and Menzerna. It's like Jeff from Jeskar has been the Menzerna rep for 30 years. And he, has made some Jeskar stuff, which is very similar but different. It's kind of like that relationship. But I'm choosing the best of the Werther FIAC line. I just like what they do. I like their product a lot. So the Compact X or the KV3 3/300 are the replacements for what we were doing before.
Our buddy Spencer says, "Hey Matt, do you know much about the Roar coating that Pan suggested?"
No, I have zero interest.
It's an ultra high gloss candy like experience, according to the website.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot of interest in it. My gut tells me I wouldn't like it, and sometimes my gut's wrong, but I got to draw the line somewhere.
Chris M says, "A cool final touch on a garage build. Check out the garage door sensor covers from Wire Hide. Gives a super clean look and protects of door sensors."
I'll check it out.
Any updates on when Russo toolboxes will be coming? Travis wants to know.
We can get you one right now, so whatever you need, just hit up design@obsessedgarage.com and they'll get you what you need. And mine back there, they're freaking awesome.
If you're looking for a glass coating, please try out Diamond Protect's glass coating.
I got that right in the cabinet here. I'm going to do 50-50. I'm going to do Diamond Protect on one side and probably G-Quartz, whatever they called it, G-Guide or something, I forget what it's called. But I'm going to tape the windshield and do half and half. I'm going to do the Raptor, same thing. I've got Exodus and H2Go from Angel Wax.
Kyle likes that one.
I got the, like I said, I got the armor stuff. I got a bunch of them. So I'm going to be taping all my windshields 50-50 and figuring out what I like.
Then you're going to have to drive in the rain, then you got to find it.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt and Chris. This is from Sunny. Polished my E92 M3 with the Mercury. Considering the amount of time it took, should I look into purchasing a larger polisher also?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to polish a whole car with a 3-inch. Yeah, I'll let you know in a couple of days here when I polish with the Rupes to see what the deal is.
Yeah, the new one. Then, are you polishing yearly plus reapplying both coatings?
If it was a daily driver, yes, maybe 18 months. But most of my cars are like, this is going to be 2 years since I did this. So most of them are around 2 years, but I don't drive very much.
Ryan wants to know, can you give us a preview of the OG DI pricing? Also, will it be easier to refill with resin versus the CR?
I really don't know yet. I think it's probably going to be like $1,500, so you better prepare. But we're going to have some versions that don't have the cabinet that are going to be in that $700 range, I think. The tank is much more sophisticated. The enclosure is much more sophisticated. The metering or the sensor or whatever we're doing, the display is much more sophisticated. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be like 1,500, maybe $2,000 for the full single tank setup. It's not going to be cheap. But then we're going to have an entry level version that doesn't have the big black box. That's on a cart, or we'll have different versions of it that'll hopefully be less than $1,000. And the replacement of it, it will be much easier.
Epiphany Detailing wants to know: are there any new Inside the Hex videos coming soon?
I just put one up an hour ago. So Mom just has to put it up of the behind the scenes at Mantis. I put one up earlier this week of the vlog. I put another one up earlier this week of Hexcast. I've got 2 more Hexcasts I got to record this weekend. So yeah, lots of stuff.
And then what's the next Wash and Talk?
I don't know, but I'll probably do one this weekend.
All right, let's see. I saw you reply to a comment regarding Kevlar pressure washer hose versus normal wire.
Yeah,
hose.
we got one coming to check it out.
Well, there you go. Will you be trying those? Bluebird was the name of the company.
Yeah, Bluebird. Yep.
I just coated my wheels with Armor. Should I be worried that Decon soap will strip that wheel coating when I go to do the full detail process?
No, it won't touch it. Yeah, nope, you'll be fine.
Tim wants to know, what high-speed roll-up doors did Matt end up going with for the new building?
I want to do Ride Tech, but I haven't gotten a hold of them yet. I got to get working on that.
Oh, here's a buddy of yours, John B.
Okay.
We're cut from the same cloth, Matt.
All right.
My wife and kids know they can always ask me where something is at in our house. So you shouldn't use at there, John B.
Yeah.
My desk is always clean, and my email box always stays cleared out.
Yep. It's the way to be. It's a better life. Or worse, depending on how you look at it.
Any progress, this is from 86 in Australia, on a battery-powered pressure washer? I'm sick of running 50 meters of extension cord from my rental property to my car when I wash it.
Well, I have the Ego next door I need to test out, so at some point we'll get that done here. Got a lot to do. Gosh.
BJ says, I just spent the last hour of my life unsubscribing from all this junk email. On the Matt Spec email inbox pursuit.
Yep, I do that every morning. Like, these companies are so stupid. Like, these are things that I buy and I'm interested in, and they send me an email every day, sometimes twice a day. Like, you guys are so dumb. Unsubscribe. You have nothing more to add. If you're sending it every single freaking day. So, like, Pure or whatever the amino acid thing I'm buying. I just realized, I'm like, I've got an email yesterday, day before, 2 on Saturday. Like, what do you think this is doing? So yeah, I go on that kick off and unsubscribe to stuff. I clean out the junk box. I make sure that all my trash is red. Yeah.
Super chat from Deepak, $5 US. What's the next YouTube build series? Are you guys starting with the new OGHQ renovation, or are there any other projects in the pipeline before that?
So we have the outdoor kitchen, which he may not care about, but Lena's Outdoor Kitchen series will be out here shortly, in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to, in next month in May, we're going to fly to Chatham, New Jersey. That, if you guys have been around a long time, the Chatham project is my first garage that I designed, and it's wild. And so Bob actually called me and said, hey, when are you coming up? So we're Susie's going to work on that. We're going to go up in May to shoot that. We also have this series of all the behind the scenes of the garage giveaway winner. We shot the first video. I have to put together the A-roll for that. And so we're going to be sharing with you the entire step-by-step process that we're going through with Charlie and the garage giveaway winner. It's going to be a year-long process of design, construction, and breaking down every part and piece of it. And so lots of build stuff coming up here. I'd actually gotten several calls from some very famous people to do their garages in the future. So lots of stuff coming. But the big project coming up here is my garage. the or my studio here at the new OGHQ.
After we finish my office.
You're right. Your office is finished.
It needs a shower still. That's all.
Oh,
I need. Just a shower.
yeah. We'll put one outside on the wall there.
I think that's fine. Let's see. Ryan wants to know, is the built Hamber touchless really that much better than the Koshimi Active Foam? Is it just safer for coated vehicles? I just bought a darn 5-liter.
I don't know. A lot of people seem to like the Koshimi stuff. I have really very little interest in it, mainly because of Pete's ability to test. And not to say that Koshimi can't, but Koshimi has freaking 500 products. My gut tells me that built Hammer stuff is the way to go. And you can say maybe that's a cop-out, but I don't know. It just seems to make sense to me.
Trezui says, think about coming to Europe. I ordered stuff for 500 pounds and paid 120 pounds.
Oh, for sure we're coming to Europe.
Or euros.
100%, yep. It's just Canada's easier, and then I found the guys in Australia, and now I need to start to search in Europe.
Yeah, so let us know if you know somebody really good over there.
Well, I might reach out to Microfiber Madness, because they're crazy people. They're in Germany. And then I've got some friends in the UK area, so I might do both if I can figure this out. That way just make it easier. Because of Brexit, they made it more complicated.
Let's see, New Zealand checking in, KRBY. Heard you say just clean leather, so coatings are a waste of time? Question mark. He has an F80 M3.
Oh yeah, don't coat your leather. That's a terrible idea. You're gonna ruin it. Yeah, I don't buy the whole. Leather is breathable, and so I don't want to seal it up. And so I listen to the leather people. So my preference is color lock, and so I follow their process where I'm treating the leather or conditioning the leather. I'm not adding a coating to leather. So I don't want the exterior detailing companies telling me what to do with my leather. So I don't listen to them. I listen to the leather people, and I've had great results.
Is that your buddy here? I saw somebody walk by. I figured it might be him.
We let him in.
Let's see.
You're gonna have to hold court here.
I'll keep him captivated here. Let's talk more about my shoes.
Why is this wet? Does I got paint on me?
No, but it is wet. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't think I peed myself.
Oh, man. Kevin Grant, had my knee looked at next door to you guys at the new HQ. I was wondering when the grand opening might be. Well, Kevin, we don't really have a grand opening. We'll probably have an open house sometime soon. But next time you get your knee checked out, just stop on it. Come on in. As soon as you walk in the door, go to the left. Don't come to the right. That's where I am. Go to the left and find those guys. I'll give you a tour. I hope Matt remembers so we can hear everything he's saying.
I don't want to ruin them. This thing is like leaking water out or something.
Is everybody out there?
Yeah, they're out there.
Okay.
Waba's got them.
All right. First time washing my car since winter is over here. I use the OG drying aid with a Press-All bottle.
Hey,
wow.
make sure I'm not leaking.
I am sold on the Press-All.
I don't think so. Nope. There must be condensation coming out of this bucket or something. You're not wet?
No.
What the heck is going on here? I'm like, look at this freaking soaking wet.
I'm good.
Am I leaking?
If only you had some napkins to dry things up. Get one of those
This is
$7
wild.
Rip and rag towels.
I don't know what's going on here.
You can't have any of my Chick-fil-A napkins. Oh, man.
I don't know what's going on.
Functional Garage says hi from Romania. Nice. Thanks for tuning in. It's a long way away.
Oh my gosh.
Any plans to bring back the Clean Cars Club shirt design?
No, I hated that shirt, and I refused to ever wear it. No.
So Tristan, then he says, if not, can I steal it? I mean, borrow it. So yeah, steal the idea, Tristan, man.
Yeah, you can freaking have it. It's dumb. It certainly wasn't my idea. Yeah.
But we do have a lot of new apparel and merch in the works.
Yep.
That is MAT approved.
Yes.
If that's important to you.
Some not MAT approved, but mostly approved, yeah.
Neil White says, hey, Matt, not sure how else to ask this, but...
Ooh, uh-oh.
No pun intended.
Why are you leaking anally? Why do you have anal leakage? I didn't need any. What was that? The trans fat was like olein or something like that.
Oleo.
Oleo or whatever. They said this is going to be better for you, and people started leaking out their butthole.
Oh man, we've devolved to. But the question was,
Okay.
Do you have an OG spec toilet that you recommend?
Oh, no, I don't
You switch
yet.
them now when you go in, don't you?
I don't
New
yet.
house?
No, yeah, I just swap them to something at least something halfway decent. But no, that is on my list. Some version of Toto or something like that. You guys are here, getting all fired up. Our E30 Evo and E30, are they both red?
Yeah, they're both red.
Oh, that's cool.
My buddy Larry's gonna like that.
Yeah. You can let them in if they want to just come hang out.
Yeah. You want me to? Well, nah,
Yeah, don't bring him in yet.
Yeah.
The car's in. Earlier in the year, Matthew says, I remember you mentioning you were looking for a source of really high-end cheese. I recommended
Mozzarella, yeah.
Rascioli.
Okay.
Did you end up trying any of them? Did you find any good sources?
No. No. I need to.
Gave up on that.
I want to, yeah. I bought all the pizza stuff. I haven't made a pizza since because I'm trying to, get back on the wagon here.
Let's see. Is there a difference in light output for the square versus round Cree Ellis light fixtures?
No, these are the round ones that look identical.
And then he
it's
said, which
just
one do
the
you
lens,
use?
yeah.
Do you always use
I
round?
always do square, but I tried round in here just to see, and we'd always do square now. We won't even carry the round. It'll be more special order.
There's the question. Got it. I have some tar, Brian says, on my rear bumper, on the paint and plastic portion.
Yep.
I saw on your website that Tarex will stain plastic. So
It
what do I do about that?
It can. Just spray it on the towel, but it really would only stain plastic if you really let it sit, or it was in the sun or hot. I've had pretty good success with it not affecting plastic or anything. Certainly not the plastic bumper. It's like black plastic. As it kind of runs down and you let it sit on there, it could sort of bleach or change or make it spotty. But to prevent that, just spray it on the towel.
Functional Garage says, how would you deal with dust in the following situation? We've heard this pretty often. You're decon washing the car in the morning.
Yep.
Then you let it sit till the next day.
Yep.
The next day you polish it. The following day you coat it. So how do you deal with dust?
So for me, I would use N914, which won't leave anything behind, and I would use a Pluffle, really, really soft towel. And generally, if it's just dust, it's not pollen, you're not going to scratch or hurt anything. And so I would just use either CarPro Eraser or N914. Just use some sort of lubricant, a really soft towel, and just go over the car gently and wipe the dust off. It won't hurt anything.
The Grown wants to know, hey Matt, when are you going to have your own booth at SEMA? I would love to see it.
Yeah, never. Yeah, SEMA's more of a wholesale thing. Well, I guess maybe if we're wholesaling, maybe we would have a booth at SEMA someday. The problem is I already know who I want to wholesale to, who I want to sell to. So I'm not looking for new people. I'm going to be looking for less people. So I don't think I ever would. I just don't see the benefit because I'm a retailer.
Kevin says, hey Matt, I've been out of the OG loop for a bit. Can you give me the current garage cabinet hierarchy?
So Rousseau on the ultra high end, flanked or closely followed by Sonic MSS Plus. The big difference is Rousseau full custom, tons of different colors, all kinds of options. Sonic one color, which is a flat or a matte black. I guess it's like a satin black with gray, gray brushed handles or drawer pulls. But it's just a simple modular setup. You don't have a lot of choice. Sonic has a better corner cabinet or better corner solution than Rousseau has, but Rousseau does have a corner cabinet solution. But Sonic is again, it's just much simpler. There's like 7 or 8 cabinets instead of 70 different versions of cabinets. Then from there, Sabre and possibly ProSlat. And then you go down to the Huskies and the Gladiators and the New Ages, which I don't recommend. I would just wait. I'd wait and start at ProSlat There's hundreds of other cabinets in between there. There's Haley, there's C-Tech, there's tons and tons of cabinets. But the ones that I like the most are Rousseau Sonic. There's Sonic MSS kind of in between there as well, which I think doesn't make quite as much sense as I would probably go down to, unless I was going to do all Sonic tools, probably go down to something like Sabre or Post Lat.
Jeffrey McNall Jr. has a theory here on your anal leakage.
Okay.
It goes back to that airport beef jerky. He says it goes right through you. That could be.
I'm good. I feel good. I think this thing is just condensating out the hole here.
A couple of super chats, 2 super chats from Deepak. Number 1, $5 US. So I got the Krinsla wall mount solution a few weeks ago, and last week saw the OG setup in Fred's garage, meaning I guess the dual. We have a Hex member store for early access, but it's mostly stagnant. Can we update it more frequently and add such products so buyers can decide if it's worth waiting before a major purchase?
What do we have? I don't even know what that is. Like inside the
it's-
Hex, there's like sometimes we'll put some stuff up there. Yeah, no one really bought anything from there, so we just kind of lost interest.
I think we talked about for that whole signature edition built hammer making that available just inside the Hex first.
Yeah.
So Deepak,
It's just we kind of have that available for when we have something special we put up. But when we did, in the beginning, we were doing it all the time, and there weren't very many people that were really going to it.
CK Max says, hey Maddie, does the OG Design Studio work well if my company is looking to use it? We may be renovating our hydraulic laboratory and I may have a blank check. Would love to set it up with OG items.
Heck yeah, we do lots of, we've done lots of commercial stuff for sure. You'll love the process, especially if you have a blank check, it's even more fun. But yeah, we can definitely help you with that, and then you can get me involved if you need to for ideas. But Kyle and Ed and Scott and Brooke, you'll love working with them. They're fantastic.
All right, a couple more here, then we'll call it a day. Spencer says, hey Matt, I'm watching the Inside the Hex video, and at Fred's, you talked about the cabinet that would hold the Real and Krinsla pressure washer. My question is, why not spin the pressure washer 90 degrees and have both facing forward to save space? Would look really clean. I feel.
That's a darn good idea there, buddy. It just would stick out pretty far, but that's not a bad idea. I don't think any of us thought of that. It would stick out, say, 20 inches, but no different than that. I like where you're thinking.
All right, thanks, Spencer.
That's something we were struggling with. Never even crossed my mind. I'm going to steal it and not honor the source. I just won't remember his name. I'll say, hey, the guy that told me on the podcast to turn it around. I don't know if it'll look quite as good, but maybe it could.
Spencer from, I think it's South Dakota.
To keep it in that 20-inch footprint.
Function Garage says, what's your opinion on the Dravit gray color from BMW? Dravit gray? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
All right, I'll look it up in a second. Condensating out the hole is the worst, says Matt D. Agreed. We're going to need some OG spec adult diapers, says.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm sweating? I can't be sweating that much. I think it's just there's condensation coming out the hole here. Not my hole, but the hole of the bucket. Yeah, because look, it's wet. See that water?
Yeah, I'm buying what you're selling now.
Yeah, it's just squeezing out that and getting all over my butthole. It's concerning. It's a concerning problem.
I'd be concerned.
Yeah, how come yours isn't doing that?
I don't know.
That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah. Why do you think I chose this bucket? Sat on that one first and got soaked.
Yeah, this is weird. This is not ideal.
Buy the Dip says, when will the new buckets come out? Looking to buy a set.
Ooh, I just talked to Susie, my assistant, said I need you to execute on this. So the first version is going to be, we'll revamp the white, the white, blue, the normal OG version. But the first version is going to be navy blue bucket, white gamma seal, white detail guard, white, what's it called? Grit guard dolly, gray wheels.
It's all white.
And it's going to have gray OG logo stuff on the dolly, and it'll have black and white
labels, it's going to look freaking sick. And that's what I want. That's why I'm doing that one first. The other one that I want is green and black. So black Damascene, green bucket, black detail guard, black bucket dolly to match my Brewster. So I want the blue one for here, or my studio, and the black one, or black and green for my house.
That's that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Favorite grade.
That's a cool color.
All right, Jeff W. says he's currently doing an N94 rinseless wash on my Lightning while listening to the podcast.
Nice.
Still not quite warm enough outside in Michigan to wash in the driveway.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your detailing guidance.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it was
Jeff.
freaking cold up there in Toronto. It was over 36 or something like that.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is good.
More anal leakage problem.
Yeah. Jag Toller says the front of Matt's pants are looking a little damp too.
No, I'm good. I'm clean.
Oh man,
I'm clean.
good stuff. Last one here from Kyrie, not Irving. That's Kyrie Lewis.
Okay.
Hey Matt, I have the portable solution Crinzilla and curious. When I upgrade to the wall solution, will I be able to use both in a dual application?
You could. I just think you'd be better off selling the portable because you don't want to take it apart and you don't want it on the ground and you'd have some weird, you'd have to do some weird cabling and piping or not cabling, hosing, put different weird hoses and unions and stuff. So I would probably either keep it for around the house task and buy the 1322s, or sell it and get it, get dual 1322s.
All right, Gavin, we'll end on yours because it's been asked a couple times, but when is the Built Hammer Touchless going to be in the store? Soon. We don't have a date for it yet, but the pre-order will start soon as we know.
Within
it's on the way.
weeks. So I think I finally got them to just sign the dotted line here.
It's been a process.
So yeah, I think that we're good. So yeah, Pete wanted to make sure all the I's were dotted and T's crossed, and so I think we're okay. So we're ready. They've been dotted and crossed 54 times, so we should be good to go. The main thing was figuring out how to. He was very adamant for your benefit to make sure, and I agreed the whole time. I wasn't disagreeing at all that we keep the pricing. But some of the formula we're using, some of the as you got to some of the more expensive stuff that made it. I don't freaking know. Whatever. Bryce and Tommy have been working on it with Pete and Jack at Bill Hamber, and so I think we've got it licked.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the questions.
Coming up, E30 detailing series is going to be sick. We'll see you guys soon. Oh yeah, freaking soaked. I really do have to pee, but.